Hi YouTube, Stick Guy 187 here. I'm going to do another knife review for you today. Like I said in the last video, I'm going to try and preview what I'll do in the next video at the end of these, just to make it a little more interesting and maybe draw you back in. So today's review, SOG Spirit Spear. It's an interesting design. I mean, the total length of this thing is something like 10 3/4. I think it's actually 10.65 inches. The actual blade itself is, well, they say it's 4 1/4, but I think that's actually from this point here. I measured it a couple of minutes ago, and it's slightly over 4. It's like 4 1/8. It runs for about $32 at Amazon.com and around $43 at Amazon.ca. You can get it at Walmart, you can get it at Knife Zone, you can get it, I think, even through Bud K. You can pretty much get it everywhere. The blade itself, I mean, it's made of 420 stainless steel, though it's not stamped anywhere on the blade. The only thing that's stamped is China on the back side, SOG, and Spirit on the front. It's coated with basically they call it a black oxide coating. It doesn't look oxided, but whatever. 420 stainless steel, you don't really need that coating. Again, they're going for tactical. My first impression of it when I got it, I bought this actually at a local sports store. I bought it, so obviously I thought it was cool. You know, I got the last one that they had, so I didn't actually get the box with all the specs and everything, but I had a chance to hold it beforehand. The sheath doesn't really impress me. It's sandwiched nylon. The belt loop is really, really, really big, so it will accept a very large belt. But it's very rigid. If I were to actually strap this on my belt, I wouldn't really feel, you know, all that comfortable, because it will jab you occasionally. Tried. My biggest problem is this snap loop. It's too short. When you first get the knife, it just barely fits it. But I've wrapped the handle. I didn't like the plastic grip. There was really no grip. And I found that once I wrap that handle, the snap is actually a pain to close. And as soon as you rub against anything, it pops open immediately. A little bit better retention would be nice. I'm not saying Velcro, because that's kind of loud, but the grip in and of itself, toss away the sheath, is, I mean, it's a round handle. It's a modified broom handle, basically. It does fit in your hand, but truth be told, this thing scares the crap out of me if I'm stabbing with it. Even with this grip tape, my hand's still going to slide a little bit, and my hand is almost big enough that it envelops the whole handle. You slide forward, these points are pretty wicked, and they'll bite into you. They actually even catch on the sheath. The first couple of times you draw it out, you'll probably find that these little barbs catch. The knife doesn't come very sharp. I mean, it's not intended as really a knife. Like, you're not going to slash with it. I sharpened it up. You know, let's see how sharp I actually made it. Secrets of YouTube. It's not bad. There's a little bit of tearing on the edges. I mean, wow, there you have it. Is it as good as my, you know, new favorite EDC Utilitac? Yeah. But I put probably about 40 minutes just polishing this on an Arkansas whetstone with oil, and just because of the angles of the blades, you know, it takes a little while to get used to it. It's double ground, so it's actually got a flat, and then it tapers off at a slightly different angle. I believe the angle is about 25 degrees. I reprofiled it to about 22, 23 degrees. I like it a little bit better that way. Feeling the hand, it's not bad. But you're not using this as a knife. I mean, you can put it in your bug out bag, you can put it in your car, and You'll have a knife if you need it. But the real purpose of this thing, well, according to SOG's website, the real purpose of this is a throwing knife. I can't recommend it for that. The balance is, I mean, it's really, really kind of crappily balanced. When I threw this thing the first couple of times, I was worried that I wasn't going to be able to hit the broadside of a target. I did, but then I watched a couple of YouTube videos, and you will see, and this is how it comes apart, you just unscrew it. This portion will break off inside here after a few throws. Some people said 10, some people did 50. One person did it twice and it broke off. This has a small metal rod in it, which is supposed to reinforce it. I don't know if it does a great job, but I mean, this is the weak point. Whenever you see someone break off one of these spears after screwing it onto a broom handle, that's always the part that comes off, a little nylon bit on the broom handle or the wood bit on a wooden broom handle. Nah, enough yammering, let's have some fun. So I've set up the target, obviously. I'm just using plywood. My regular target, well, in an effort to test things for you guys, I kind of destroyed it. Which weapon destroyed it? Well, I'll let you know in the future. It's a stabbing weapon. Went through both sides just fine. Does it slash? Yeah, didn't go through both sides. Try not to stand in front of the target too much. Yeah, first splash didn't go through, and this is only about that thick. The stab, of course, went through. But like I said, it's not a knife. You're going to buy this thing, you're going to use it as a spear. So, let's use it as a spear. Now, I've obviously already modified this piece of doweling, and they recommend that you loosen this set screw here and then just tighten it on. If whatever you've got has threads, this is probably not coming off. It's probably going to break rather than come off, but it's not a bad idea. I'd love to say I'm all about safety, but I'm about to prove that fairly wrong. Knocked my target off. And a couple of the slashes did actually make it through. So that's not too bad. But are you going to have a chance to... I made this for Halloween. I went down to my local hardware store, picked up a piece of doweling, actually trimmed it down a little bit on the end, obviously, and threaded it just using the spear itself. If you're in a survival situation, are you going to have this? No, probably not. If you're in a survival situation, you might find a stick or chop off a branch, whittle the tip down, and then be able to attach it. Now, unlike, say, the Cold Steel Bushman that you can slide the whole thing on, I do recommend you actually screw this on as best you can, because those threads actually help it bite in. If you can, I mean, I'm carrying a little screwdriver just to show you guys, but use a set screw. Doesn't really help retention from it compressing, but you stick it into a hard target, the head might come off. Not the greatest spear, but survival situation, I wouldn't mind it. Knocked off my target again. Well, it works. I wouldn't actually say this is really a survivalist thing or anything that you know you're really going to use. You could probably process game with it if you needed to. Like I showed, the edge does actually get strong, or sharp enough, sorry, to cut paper. It holds an edge decently well. I kind of chopped at that piece of wood with it. The tips actually held up Now that's that piece of kiln-dried oak I was talking about in my last video, the one that was maybe attacking my family. It's really tough stuff, and I stabbed this tip into it multiple times. It held up pretty well. One of the things I kind of wish they had done was maybe a lanyard hole or something. It just scares me. If you stab into something hard and your hand slides up, you know, a lanyard, Quillian's crosspiece, something. But like I said, you're not buying it because it's a knife, you're buying it because it's a spear. It's got its limitations. It's fun. It's really fun. I wouldn't throw it as a knife. You could throw it as a spear. I'm obviously not going to do that in my garage. Yeah, I mean, it is cool. It is neat. If you want it and, you know, you want to spend $30 on it, have at it. You know, like I said, it's a fun little thing. And it does stab just fine. I'm going to hold the target on this one. And, yeah. No, my cardboard isn't bleeding. I decided to do a packet of ketchup for you. And got some on myself. Victory. That's pretty much my review on this, guys. You know, thanks for watching. Do I recommend it? Only if you want to have fun. Now, for the next video, sorry for coming close again, I've had a couple of special requests. Cold Steel War Club, Cold Steel Gladius. Which one do you guys want? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'll do my best to accommodate you. Until then, I'm Stick Guy 187. Stay sharp.